Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Computer America Show. Got a great program planned for you. We're going to start momentarily, so sit back, relax, as we have 2 hours of Computer America coming straight at you.
Broadcasting live, it's America's longest-running national radio talk show on computers, Computer America, hosted by national columnist Craig Crossman. Look for Craig's weekly column in your favorite newspaper. This show is being beamed nationwide at ComputerAmerica.com. Keep it here for technology news, computer products, guest interviews, and your phone calls. You're listening to Computer America.
Hello, and welcome into the Computer America Show. It's the nation's longest-running, nationally syndicated radio talk show on computers. Computer America is heard around the world and coast to coast. And I'm your host, Craig Crossman.
And I'm your co-host, Ben.
And welcome into another edition of the Computer America Show. We're going to be we're having again some technical issues, but we're not having technical issues. Our network is having some technical issues, and I'm wondering, you should probably hang up on that, Ben, and then see if I can get in. I think that's what's causing it. So why don't you hang up, and perhaps maybe that appears to be what the problem is. So we're going to, no, you can't mute it. You just have to hang up, literally hang up. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, again, okay. So welcome into the program. And as I said, we have a terrific show planned for you. In the second hour, we're going to have dictionary.com here. Elizabeth McMillan, who is the CEO of the company, is going to be joining us. Unfortunately, when she was here last time, that we had network issues. The network seems to be having a lot of issues, and so we couldn't have her on the program. And she's back with us here tonight. And by heck or by high water, we're going to have her that interview and then upload it to a Blog Talk Radio, the other networks, after the recording. So we're going to do that.
The show will go on.
The show will go on, despite of what they're doing over at the network. And then in the first hour, we're going to be talking about ACTIVEON. We have the company's executive vice president here, Frank Donato, is going to be joining us in a few minutes. Talking about this amazing camera that they have, and you say, "Oh, I mean, it's a standalone camera." I thought smartphones today, are replacing cameras. Well, evidently not, and there's some good reasons why. And we're going to talk about the ACTIVEON, and it's an amazing little camera, and we'll get to that in the meantime. In a few minutes. In the meantime, if you have a comment or a question, well, you can't call us because our network is down. So, but what you can do is go to ComputerAmerica.com and go to the upper right-hand corner there. Any of our pages will have it says submit a question, and you can click that. It'll ask you for your name, and you can submit a question for our guest right there. Click the submit button, and Ben and I will see your question for you. So. That will certainly that will be effective. That will work. Ben, can you close the window with the Blog Talk at least? Can you try that and see if that would? No, I won't do it. Okay. Now the other thing that we have is not only a live radio broadcast, but we also have live video stream, which is what we're talking about. And we would love to have you on to join us on our live video stream. Just go to our show lounge. Again, on any page at ComputerAmerica.com, and pull down menu, just go there and just click it, and the live video stream will automatically activate, so you can see us as well as hear us. And that's a good thing because Ben has the technology to display websites, videos, the things that we're talking about, and you can kind of join us there. So we'd love to have you on that. So just again, just click the show lounge, and you can watch the Computer America Show. So anything else, Ben, before we get started in this first hour?
Anything else? Of course, always check out our social media. Definitely check out Stitcher. And I'm really trying to push Stitcher this week because it just launched last Friday. It's a great way to find all of our shows. It updates automatically every night after the show is done. Again, the only place you can listen to us live is on Blog Talk Radio. But the the episodes are in their entirety on many different forms, including Stitcher, like I just said, SoundCloud, and a lot of our other networks actually rebroadcast this live as well. But Stitcher is new as in just this Friday, and we really would like you guys to go there because, in all honesty, it's one of the first and best ways that we've had here on the show to listen to Computer America on Android phones. Because we've been on iTunes for the longest time, but for being on Android and the Google Store and all that kind of stuff, no, this is the first time. So it's something pretty exciting, and just really want to get the word out about it.
Yeah, again, you can now listen to the show. You can hear us on Stitcher and SoundCloud, and we've actually updated our archives page so you can see that for yourself as well. And certainly, the more ways that you can listen to Computer America, I say the better. The more ways that we bring the program to you.
It does help.
Yes, it does. All right. So, anything else before we get started at this point? I think.
No. I think that's plenty of stalling for now.
Okay. All right. So our guest tonight is from a company called ACTIVEON, and as they say, capture the remarkable moments in your life with an ACTIVEON action camera. You can share your precious moments with the ACTIVEON family and on their social media sites. Live life to the fullest. Record in full high definition resolution with their high quality glass lens and pro grade image sensor. Capture your special moments in crystal clear 1080p 60 frames per second. That's pretty darn clear. Their compact size and powerful action camera includes a housing that is waterproof up to 196 feet deep. That's cool. They also offer a wide array of accessories for you to fully capture your life moments everywhere you go to enjoy your activities to the fullest. Now, joining us tonight is Frank Donato, ACTIVEON's Executive Vice President. Frank, welcome into Computer America. How are you?
Great. How are you doing? Thank you for having me.
Our pleasure. Sorry, we're having some technical difficulties, but we're gonna plow on through them. Now, tell us a little bit. I kind of introduced ACTIVEON, but why don't you tell us a little bit about the company and why it was formed and created?
Okay. Well, ACTIVEON is a consumer electronics manufacturer. Our corporate office is based in San Diego, California, so I'm lucky enough to be based out of lovely San Diego. Mm-hmm. We have offices in South Korea. We have a manufacturing facility in Shenzhen, China. We have sales offices in Minneapolis and Indianapolis to service some of our customers. We also sell our product in Canada and Europe. We have ACTIVEON is now available for sale in Europe, and we have our European office mm-hmm. is based in the Netherlands in Europe. So we not only manufacture action cameras, but we also manufacture flat panel televisions under the RCA brand. So very experienced. Company was founded in 2004, so we've been around a little while. Mm-hmm. One of our strategic advantages that we have over competition is we have our own factory. We don't source our manufacturing out to third-party manufacturers, so we mm-hmm. build our own televisions and action cameras in our own factory.
Wow. Okay. So, so you have full control over how the manufacturing processes and specifications of this camera. You're doing it from the bottom up. It sounds like
bottom up, right from design, engineering, all the way through the product chain, all the way to the end user. So, makes us feel real good, and we provide reliable supply, reliable quality to our end retailers.
Right. Now, I'm hoping. I think this is a fair question, but we're certainly going to get this. Today, in this day and age, most everybody has smartphones, and most everybody's smartphone today has a camera, and it's just not. And they're pretty darn good. I mean, some of the cameras that are on smartphones today are
they're good, but they're also convenient.
And convenient. So, what would you say to someone who is thinking about, why should they consider getting a standalone camera as opposed to if they already have one on a smartphone? What would you say to them?
Well, you're correct. Obviously, everyone has smartphones, and as you're talking about traditional cameras, point and shoot. Action camera, totally different game. The market is screaming. Growth is 40% year over year, and the main reason, it's an action camera, so you use it during activities, whether you're biking, hiking, swimming, scuba diving, cliff diving, snowmobiling, skiing, what have you. I don't think you'd want to take your $700 iPhone or your brand new Galaxy S5 or Note 5 or whatever the latest camera. I don't think you'd want to get that wet or have it drop out of your hands and have it be destroyed and have to replace it. Action camera, it's not just about the camera, it's also about the accessories. The accessories, we have a wide variety of accessories that you can use your camera. We have roll bar mounts so you can mount it on your bike. Straps, we have chest straps, we have selfie poles, we have hand grips, we have we have suction mounts, we have mounts for your car. So it's really, obviously you're not going to want to use your cell phone if you're doing high action activities. If you're going swimming, you could take this camera underwater. You definitely don't want to use your cell phone for that.
Certainly makes a lot of sense. So,
and I would assume that the technology built into this thing is very different than a smartphone, because a smartphone is, of course, among many things, a phone, and has a lot of different features. But not all of those, I would guess, are. And I guess I'm kind of leading into what are some of the key features of this being an action camera. I mean, is this thing shock resistant, waterproof? Is it, drop it from a plane and go pick it up and it's fine? What kind of separates this from, other cameras out there?
Well, all of our cameras come with a waterproof housing. You can either leave it in the housing or you can take it out. So obviously the water housing, our cameras have been tested. Inside the housing, you can take it down to 196 feet. That's much greater than some of our competition.
Yeah, that's really deep.
That's a significant difference. You definitely don't want to get your cell phone wet. I remember taking my cell phone.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I remember taking my cell phone to the beach. I thought I was far enough away from the water. Nope, got a little bit of water on it in my phone.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. We're having now we're getting some technical difficulties here, Frank, and I apologize about this. Hopefully, we'll get this.
Our menu has recently changed. Please listen carefully.
Okay.
Since it appears you're calling back into a live show, we are reconnecting you now.
Okay. We're now established back with the network. So if you're just listening to us on the network, you'll listen to the Computer America show. Ben and I are interviewing Frank Donato, who is ACTIVON's Executive Vice President. We're talking about their camera and their full high-definition resolution with their high-quality, all these different features. And so we were speaking to you about what
your waterproof case and how some other cameras. And I have friends who are surfers. They go diving. They go and snorkel and scuba and that kind of thing. And finding a proper camera to do water sports, it's harder than you think, because a lot of them are very that I think everyone can kind of claim water resistant, and in a lot of cases can claim that they'll keep everything dry, but they can get down 70, 80, 100 feet, and that's when you really have to start reading the fine print.
Right. I mean, obviously that's a huge feature for the action camera, but also our camera obviously comes with waterproof housing, but you can also buy an open housing in case you don't need to take it underwater, but it provides a mounting structure for the vast, for the wide variety of accessories. The cell phones have accessories. You can put them on a selfie pole, but it's almost impossible to find accessories that so you can mount your cell phone to attach it to your bike. You're not going to attach it to your surfboard, your snowmobile, your skis, what have you. So an action camera allows you to use the camera in any way you want. I tell an example, and my son's a big soccer player here in Southern California, and I take him to the park, and I put the head strap on, and he takes penalty kicks, and I have some really interesting videos of him covering me with shots. So you can wear the camera, so you don't have to worry about holding your hand and dropping it and damaging your cell phone. So the camera, like I said, we come with We offer a wide variety of accessories, so you can mount your phone where you're on your activity and not worried about holding the camera, taking pictures, taking video. You can concentrate on your activity instead of worrying about dropping your phone or your camera.
So let me ask you this: there are obviously other action cameras out in the market, like the GoPro, what have you. How do you compare to some of these other cameras, and why would someone want to purchase, let's say, an ACTIVON as opposed to some of the other cameras that are out there?
Well, we compare very well. We can, in a lot of cases, we have more features and specifications than our competition at a more affordable price, which is obviously critical for most people. All of our action cameras come with a 2-inch LCD screen. Our chief competitor, not all of their cameras come with an LCD screen. We feel that's a kind of a critical feature to have, to be able to see what you're going to record and see what perspective or angle you're going to record, so that when you start your activity, you're confident you're going to record that, what you think you do. So you're going to record the action or the moment that you want. You don't have to worry. You have that perspective. All our cameras come with Wi-Fi, so you can connect your phone to, you can control your phone through your smartphone. You can control all the functions. You can actually live view what's happening on your camera through your smartphone. And we also have a mobile application that's available on the Apple Store and on Google Play, where you can download that app to your cell phone for free, and be able to control the functions of the phone. Like I said, you can see what's recording live on the camera. And one of the great features, especially in this age of social media and instant gratification and sharing pictures and video, you can wirelessly stream and download your pictures and video right from your camera directly to your smartphone, and then you can upload them to social media, your page, what have you, directly from your phone. You don't need to wait till you get home and hook up a cable and transfer them. All our cameras come with Wi-Fi. Camera, our ACTIVON CX launched in the market just last month. Compared to GoPro's Hero, the ACTIVON CX is priced at $119.99. This camera comes with a 2-inch LCD screen, comes with Wi-Fi. GoPro's Hero camera is priced $10 higher. It does not include an LCD screen, and it does not have Wi-Fi. So you can't control it with your phone. You can't download videos wirelessly to your cell phone. Those are two huge features. You're getting all the quality. You're getting an LCD screen. You're getting Wi-Fi for $10 less. We think that's very compelling.
Yeah, the feature to let you shoot it over to your phone, before you even get home, that's actually a really nice feature, because I've had a couple cases where using one of these cameras, and then I've had friends lose it. I've dropped it out of a car once. Not gonna explain that one, but
I'd like to hear that explanation.
Things happen, and I guess shooting over to your phone and then and then uploading it to a Dropbox account, to Facebook, to wherever you have, and just store. The quicker you can get it to the cloud, the safer your footage is, and something like this will let you do that, as you take the photos, not as soon as you get it home.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're on vacation, if you're at the beach, if you're at a baseball game, you don't have to wait till you get home. You can share it in the moment with all your friends and family.
And the view screen, as you were talking about, that every one of these cameras has, it's a 2-inch screen, but it's also, I understand, it's a touch screen as well.
Well, the CX is just a regular LCD screen. We do have a new camera coming out in October. It's called CX Gold. Like I said, that'll be out in mid-October at major retailers. That camera will have a touch screen. Okay.
Now, again, I mean, the cameras, they look nice. I mean, but basically, they're still, I guess, like a rectangular box. I mean, but the way the camera looks is not as important as how the camera performs. I see you can get some with different color face plates on it, so it kind of looks nice. But it looks to me like you were going more for functionality than designer looks for this camera.
Well, both is important to us.
Okay.
Obviously, our cameras are light, compact, small. So you don't want something big, bulky, and
No, you don't.
a lot when you're wearing it on a head strap, or you have it mounted on your bike. But obviously, our new CX and our new CX Gold, we do take design.
Okay. So
seriously, you did mention the faceplates. Our CX camera, you can easily interchange faceplates. We sell an add-on accessory where you can buy 6 faceplates of different colors. You can easily replace the front plate to blue, red, green, yellow, orange. It's for people, especially younger people that want to express themselves.
Exactly.
And put their favorite color on the front of the camera.
Now, what about the lens itself? Is it what kind of lens does it have? And let's talk a little bit about some of the accessories for this.
Well, our CX camera comes with it's a 5 megapixel image sensor, f2.4 bright glass lens. There's for our CX, we have 4 different field of vision settings from narrow all the way to super wide. Our super wide allows you to it gives you 160 degrees field of vision.
Wow.
And it reduces, the action cameras are known for that fisheye effect. Some people like it, some people don't. So our CX camera gives you the ability to change the field of vision in four different ways. When you put it on super wide, it reduces that fisheye effect.
Yeah, I would think so. 160 degrees. That's almost from side to side. that is quite amazing. The lens itself, the glass, is it made? You make it is it a special optics company that makes the lenses for the ACTIVON?
Yeah, we build the cameras, we assemble them, but yeah, we have suppliers all throughout Asia who supply us our components.
Okay, and
battery types for these. What kind of battery do you use? Because I know a few of them have interchangeable batteries and some of them are built in. What's the story with ACTIVON?
All ACTIVON cameras come with it's a lithium-ion battery. All our cameras have 2-hour battery life with the LCD screen running. So our cameras do have if you didn't want to have that the LCD screen viewfinder on at all times, you could turn that off and increase your battery capacity. But all our cameras come with they have 2-hour battery life with the screen running.
Now,
and all of our batteries, you can take them out. We sell spare batteries as an accessory. If you're going on a trip and you obviously need more battery life, you have the ability to swap out the batteries so you can extend your usage. For our CX camera, our main competition, the GoPro Hero, the battery does not come out, so you don't have that ability.
All right. Now, the lens is a 6 elements aspherical glass f2.4 lens, which can you explain a little bit about that? It sounds very nice. Tell us exactly what it is.
Very nice, but very complicated. But for a lens, the more elements you have, like on our we have 2 other cameras. We have our DX model and our LX model. Our DX model has 8 elements. Our LX model has 6 elements. Our new CX model has 6 elements. So basically, the more elements you have, yield a better correction of optical shortcomings arising at various points in the zoom range.
Okay.
So the more elements, the better.
And again, it's shooting in full HD 1080p at what, 30 frames per second?
Our CX camera it goes at 30 frames a second. We have our DX model that films at 60 frames a second.
Yeah.
So the more frames per second, the more smooth the video. So if you're really looking for high action sports, the frames per second really come into play there.
Also, the faster frames, you can also get slow-mo, I would imagine. Better slow motion.
Yes.
You get better slow motion. You mentioned the built-in Wi-Fi. Can you expand a little bit on that? How does that, because you mentioned that some of the other competitors don't have that built-in. Why is built-in Wi-Fi important for a camera?
Well, if you don't have Wi-Fi, you won't be able to use your smartphone or use it on a tablet without a cable. So it allows you wireless control of your camera. So you turn the Wi-Fi on the cell phone. You download the app. You turn the Wi-Fi on the camera.
Mm-hmm.
You connect via Wi-Fi on your cell phone. So when you look on your available wireless devices, you'll select the ACTIVON camera, and it creates a direct connection between your camera and your phone.
So your phone is acting as the control element for the camera?
So basically it's acting as a remote control. You can control every single function on the camera. You can turn it on and off. You can change the resolution. You can adjust the volume. You can control every single feature on the cell phone.
See, that's very nice. So that's what. So you're not reaching up on top of your helmet trying to do all of this. You basically you have it. You can control it all from the. Now I assume it comes with a built-in. You download the app and for your smartphone and.
Yeah, it's free. Just search ACTIVON on the Apple Store or the Google Play Store. It takes a couple seconds and you're ready to go.
Okay. And so again, it has the built-in Wi-Fi, the high resolution, and it's very light. Now, what kind of battery? How long do you get on the average battery charge with this, or a set of batteries?
Well, I mean, most all action cameras, our cameras come with it's a 2 hour life.
Okay.
On a single charge, but that includes our camera with the video screen running. So like I said, you have the option if you wanted to turn that off and you wanted to extend your battery life, but that's very common for action cameras, that life.
Okay. Any other accessories that you can tell us before the camera that you have available for it?
Well, we have all kinds. We've got bike mounts. We've got head straps. We've got actually believe it or not, our head strap is one of our top selling accessories.
Okay. All right.
I like to wear it around the office and give people problems around the office.
Intimidate everybody, exactly.
Kind of keeping an eye on them, make sure everything's going okay. Selfie poles, hand grips. Obviously, selfie poles are real popular these days. We have all sorts of different mounts, flat mounts, curved mounts. If you wanted to mount your camera on a helmet, we have mounts for the outside of your car. We've tested our mount on race, our auto section mount on race cars, and it's stuck like a champ. We have a small universal suction mount. You can mount your camera on any type of surface, a wall, a window, a table, what have you. Very, very flexible. Allows you to mount it in different areas. We have surfboard mounts. We have
surfboard.
Mounts pretty much every.
Surfboard mounts.
But those are important. That's the research shows that when people are searching for an action camera, that is if not the most, it's in the top 2 items of consideration when they're searching for an action camera, because you need the accessories to be able to use this camera. And you need, everybody has a different hobby. Everybody likes a different sport. So you really need a wide variety of accessories.
Right. And you have to since the camera now, this camera still has the basic interface, like for the tripods and everything, but you have to have the specific accessories designed for the camera itself, or are they just like universal?
Some are universal. Obviously we encourage everybody to buy ACTIVON accessories. Some work across different brands, but some, the fit and the confidence you have in the brand, in that accessory, how it fits with the accessory. We definitely recommend people to use ACTIVON accessories with an ACTIVON camera. Okay,
so now you also have you have the ability to do time-lapse photography with an automatic time-lapse videos.
Right, correct. You can do it direct. You can film it directly from the camera. You don't have to. A lot of times you can do a time-lapse video. You can take a series of pictures and then piece it together as a time-lapse video with editing software. With ACTIVON cameras, you can do it directly from the cell phone, from the camera itself.
That is very cool. It is. All right, listen, Frank, we're up against the bottom of the hour break, so we're going to continue on. We'll get back to you. Meantime, Ben and I are talking to Frank Donato, who is ACTIVON's executive vice president. We're talking about the ACTIVON camera, action camera, beautiful camera, 1080p, 30 frames per second, up to 60 frames per second. When we come back, we're going to talk about the upcoming new gold version and also how they're being used with Cirque du Soleil, their partnership with that. We'll be right back. You listen to the Computer America Show. Don't go anywhere.
Sometimes disaster strikes. Data can be lost due to many different reasons. Accidental reformatting, power spikes, virus attacks. Zero Assumption Recovery provides a suite of highly effective and thorough data recovery software for Windows operating systems. ZA is suitable for home users and small businesses who need a powerful data recovery solution for Windows and Linux file systems.
Go to z-a-recovery.com.
Sometimes disaster strikes. Data can be lost due to many different reasons. Accidental reformatting, power spikes, virus attacks. Zero Assumption Recovery provides a suite of highly effective and thorough data recovery software for Windows operating systems. ZA is suitable for home users and small businesses who need a powerful data recovery solution for Windows and Linux file systems.
Go to z-a-recovery.com.
Hi, this is Craig Crossman, host of the Computer America Show. You have important meetings to schedule. Your company's getting ready for its IPO, and you're in charge of the PTA fundraiser this month. So how do you coordinate everyone to be available at the same time? Are you still using emails, phone calls, even text messages to schedule meetings with a group of people? How's that working out for you? Not so great, huh? It's a fact that every day, millions of people suffer from scheduling headaches. Well, with Doodle, scheduling meetings with a group of people is quick and easy. With Doodle, you can easily propose available times to each member. Each one checks off the times that they're available, and then you simply pick the time that works best for the group, all in an easy-to-read display that integrates with your existing calendar. Nothing could be more simple. Give Doodle a try for free, and like millions of Doodle users, you'll truly see how easy it is to find the perfect date and time for all your meetings. That's www.doodle.com.
No, they said swing state, not swinger state. Oh, it's Marty Winston with a News Tips Bulletin Review for Computer America. This time, the Kensington 48-watt 4-port USB charger. You know, one of the hottest trending pastimes these days is the extremely popular running out of USB charging ports. So when we got this one in, we thought, 48 watts, that's 12 watts per port. That comes out to 2.4 amps, the same specs cited by the product. So that checks out. The AC connection's a two-prong line cord, so it won't cover a second outlet. The business end is a small rectangular block with 4 ports up top and venting slots on the side. Doesn't get warm. Bottom line, the Kensington 48-watt 4-port USB charger is among the best answers out there for keeping your gear charged and at the same time, your AC socket's available. Marty Winston with a News Tips Bulletin Review for Computer America.
Welcome back to the Computer America Show. It is 33 minutes past the hour. Yeah, and thank you, Marty Winston, for that News Tip Bulletin Review. And I run into that problem all the time, running out of USB ports. I have a dozen things to plug in, and my motherboard does a pretty good job of it, but still, I'm short. I'm always short 2 or 3, USB ports. So that sounds like a nice hub. But continuing on with our first hour interview, we have Mr. Frank Donato here. He is the executive vice president for ACTIVEON. Really great action cameras, and we're just getting into the specs and everything, and really getting into the features. We just kind of finished up with the automatic time lapse video, and one other feature that I want to get into, because I think that this is something a lot of people at some point wanting to either take a picture of yourself, take a picture with a group of friends, take a picture of something. You also sell a remote control, which I'm assuming, slap it on a tripod, point it in the right direction, get in front of it, and there you go. No more weird arm half in, half out of the photo. So what does the remote control do for this camera?
Oh yeah, the remote control we do sell that. It basically, if you don't want to use your cell phone, if it's depending on the size of your cell phone, how bulky or heavy it is, we do sell a separate remote control that you can connect via Wi-Fi to. It connects to your camera, and you can control the features. You can take pictures. You can start video. You can stop the video. So if you're doing an activity and you really don't want to carry your cell phone around with you, or you're worried about damaging your cell phone, the small. I think it's 2 inches high. Just more compact and light, and gives you that reassurance.
All right. So tell us a little bit about this partnership that you have with Cirque du Soleil, and how are the ACTIVON cameras being used in Cirque du Soleil?
It's actually a very exciting partnership, and I'm doing, it's close enough where I can actually talk about it now.
Okay.
The official start date is on September 1st, but breaking news, I'm breaking it first on your show today.
Excellent.
ACTIVON has signed a 3-year deal to be the official camera partner of Cirque du Soleil. And this partnership covers North America, Canada, United States, and it also covers our business in Europe. Cirque du Soleil, well known. They have their big top and arena shows that travel across the country, and they also have their great, exciting shows in Las Vegas. We're partnering with Cirque du Soleil. It's a little bit of a unique take on marketing. And we're introducing this product as a lifestyle product for everyday life. Well, the camera's got great specs, and if you're jumping off cliffs or skydiving or wrestling sharks in the water, camera works great for that. But these action cameras are very popular, and it's growing, and there's a huge market for everyday activities, families, young children who are using these cameras just on the weekends. Filming their children's soccer matches, baseball games, taking it to the pool, taking it to the beach. It's becoming an everyday product for families. Our goal is to communicate and increase ACTIVON brand awareness, notoriety, and positioning. We also want to engage customers with content produced using ACTIVON cameras. So Cirque du Soleil performers are currently wearing our cameras during performances, during rehearsals. So we're creating a lot of exciting, interesting content that we're going to be able to share on our website, on our social media pages, on our in-store retail displays. We're really trying to speak to our younger customers, but as well as their parents and family. We're going to be able to put together some authentic storytelling, highlighting the shared values of this brand partnership. To me, the connection between ACTIVON and Cirque du Soleil is a natural fit. It inspires us to create incredible experiences and capture unique and shareable moments.
You're going to get some amazing footage out of your partnership with Cirque du Soleil.
A Cirque du Soleil show. You let your mind run wild. We're going to have a lot of great content. And we're announcing the partnership actually in Chicago at Cirque du Soleil's Curious Traveling Big Top show. We're going to have a huge VIP event. We've invited a large number of the media. Some major network TV stations are going to be there. Electronic publications, newspapers are all going to be there. We're going to announce the partnership together. In addition, we're going to, it's a VIP event. People are going to have a lot of fun. We're going to give away one of our CX cameras to all of our guests. We've invited a lot of our retail partners, and at the end of the event, everyone gets a ticket to the show to see the Curios show.
Very cool.
Very nice.
Exciting launch to the partnership. Starting on September, like I said, on September 1st. The event is on September 2nd. At the United Center in Chicago, and keep your eyes out. We're doing a couple press releases coming up. We're actually going to announce this partnership on Thursday, and then we're going to also do a press release talking about our CX camera on Monday. So breaking news here. And we'll also be attending the PetCom show in New York. It's on September 30th. It's an opportunity for manufacturers to get together and show new products that are going to be available in the fourth quarter for Black Friday, Christmas. What are the hottest holiday gifts? So we'll be attending that show, and we'll be announcing one of our new cameras. It's already, you can preview it on our website, ACTIVEON.com, our CX Gold camera.
Yeah, that looks really, really nice, by the way. It's got it's
yeah, but Craig's a sucker for gold. So
yeah, the champagne gold cover that you see like on the iPhone 5S, the champagne or the 6. It's like it's not really gold. It's not in your face gold. It's like a champagne gold, and it just looks really, really nice.
Really sharp and classy looks. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously an action camera, it's got to perform. We've got all that. We've got all the features. We've got all the speeds and feeds. But like I said before, design is important. Everybody wants buying electronics. You want it to look good. So design is really important to us. Some of the other things that the Cirque du Soleil partnership, obviously, we're going to be being able to take advantage of their marketing events. So our brand and logo will be featured at all the shows, but we're also going to be doing a lot of exciting events, marketing activities. So we're doing, like we said, we're doing the VIP event in September. We're also going to be doing contests, sweepstakes, where we're going to be engaging our fans on social media. And giving away prizes, tickets to Cirque du Soleil shows, grand prize trips to Las Vegas to see a show in Las Vegas, including backstage experiences, airfare, hotels. There's a lot of exciting things that we're creating and being able to bring to our ACTIVEON customers.
Wow. Okay. And
please tell me at least you're going to try to strap some of these cameras onto the performers themselves while they're doing their acrobatics.
Absolutely. We're actually have some videos undergoing some final editing. We're going to be showing it, debuting it at our event on September 7th. So we're really excited about that.
Very nice.
Now, I know you touched on it briefly, because I want you to talk about the Tesla contest you have. But before we get to that,
absolutely, I was just thinking about that.
Yeah, before we get to that, I know you touched on it, but are there any functions that come to mind that ACTIVEON actually has that the others don't? And could you tell us, give us a couple examples?
Well, yeah, I think the biggest things that people should care about. All of our cameras, like I said, come with LCD screens and come with Wi-Fi. Not all action cameras come with an LCD screen. We think that's that's a significant feature. There's one function that we have that not everybody has. It's called what we call aqua mode. So it's the deeper you go in the water, the red part of the light spectrum becomes washed out. When you're underwater, especially our camera can go down to 196 feet. In our cameras, our software is able to autocorrect that and restore that red, and our pictures and video underwater are much brighter and more vivid and more lifelike than our competition. So that's another big factor, especially if you like water sports and activities.
That is nice. Okay, and does that happen automatically, or you turn that on, or you
can turn it on and off, but it comes out of the box with it on, so there's really no reason to turn it off.
And I noticed that there are two large, looks like buttons on the top of the camera. What are those for?
That's obviously our CX Gold that's coming out in October has touchscreen, so you'll be able to completely control the phone via your smart screen. But obviously the on-off button and basically the mode button. So there's two button navigation system allows you to navigate through your settings, through your video settings, your audio settings, easily with just two buttons on top.
Okay. So tell us about the Tesla contest that you have.
Yes, very exciting. So it's not just the Tesla, but we every week we have a contest, and we encourage our users and fans of followers on our social media sites, for the video that they record on their ACTIVEON camera. They have the ability to go onto our website, just simply create a user ID, and they can upload their videos that they've captured with their ACTIVON camera and automatically be entered in our contest. Like we do a contest every week. The best video of the week wins $2,000 cash. That's very exciting. We've been doing that since the start of November of last year. We do that every week, doing it for 52 straight weeks. At the end of October, we'll have 52 unique winners of the $2,000 cash for the best video of the week. So our 52 weekly winners will automatically be entered into the annual contest, and we have a panel of judges here here at ACTIVON. The winner of the best video of the year will win a Tesla Model S.
Wow!
So very exciting.
The whole car?
The whole car.
No, just the left wheel and
the wheel, the battery, everything, the whole kit and caboodle.
Oh.
So very exciting, especially now. A lot of our users are younger kids. So $2,000 is a lot of money for everybody. So we're giving that away every single week. And like I said, the best video of the year, Tesla Model S.
Exactly. And again, so the weekly contest. The weekly contest is basically.
Are you just trying to get people to use their cameras and kind of bring it to a social place, or are you looking and kind of saying, okay, send us your videos and you get $2,000 and we get to spread your video everywhere and show people what they can do with with our equipment?
It's all of the above. Yeah, obviously, it's cash is king, right? Giving away a car. Been very successful for us. To build the interest, spread the word. People talk about it. They, obviously, if they have a chance to win $2,000. If they win that, they're going to share it with their friends and families. Spread the word. Able to use that we post on our social media sites, on our websites. We've actually used video that we've gotten from our contests, and we use them on our retail displays inside of our retail partners. So they have a chance to be famous also.
Yeah, well, it's a great way to get publicity. And now, are there any categories that are or do you accept? I mean, obviously the obvious ones, water and back trail hiking. I mean, but are there any? Do you accept any and all categories for these submissions for this weekly prize?
Absolutely. There's no restrictions. Obviously, the videos are submitted on our website, so we get to review them. So everyone, please keep them tasteful.
Oh yeah, well, obviously.
That's really the only restriction. I would make sure it's appropriate for all viewing audiences.
Exactly.
But we've had people skydiving, we've had people deep sea diving, but we've also had people riding bikes, playing with their children, playing with their dogs. We've had a winner who did a video while they were riding a roller coaster. So we've gotten a wide array of submissions on different topics.
There are.
I remember one of my favorite action camera video footage was of a gentleman who, he'd always seen these videos of people skydiving and skiing and surfing and mountain biking and dirt biking. Like, you always see people do all this crazy stuff, and he realized that he doesn't do anything like that, but yet his life can be exciting. And I think the editing was the best part, but he took an action camera and he went through his average day in the office of him, reading or checking emails and going over memos and stapling papers together, just kind of going through his mundane office job. And I'll give it to you. It was probably 99% editing that made it entertaining, but it was still entertaining.
Absolutely. I mean, that's a big reason why we chose Cirque du Soleil as a marketing partner. Obviously, the action sports and the extreme sports is important for us. We want to be able to provide product to be able to hold up and perform for that type of customer. but there's a huge untapped market, like you said, of everyday people, everyday users. You don't, like I said, you don't have to be skydiving or wrestling bears and in the woods to be able to enjoy an action camera. You could be in your office. You could be, like I said, playing with your dog, playing with your children. It's a product for everybody. We don't, we try to. With our navigation systems to be able to go through the menus and some of the user interfaces that we're designing them to be easy to use, so that everybody can enjoy them and not be not be afraid or intimidated. If I'm not cliff diving, I can't use an action camera. That's not true at all. You can use it for almost anything.
Well, obviously, let's talk a little bit about the price for the ACTIVON camera. Both this one and the upcoming gold one. What are the price ranges are we looking for out here?
Well, our CX camera has a suggested retail price of $119.99. Our LX camera.
Wait, $119.99.
$119.99. Right?
Wow.
So
okay, that's much cheaper than I thought it'd be.
Yeah. So very, very capable, high featured camera for an extremely affordable price. Great deal. Our LX camera retails at $199. Our DX camera, which has a better image sensor, you can take higher resolution pictures and offers 60 frames a second video. Currently retails at $299. Our CX Gold. Can't announce. Unfortunately, I can't break that news.
Yeah.
But our CX Gold will be surprisingly affordable for the features that we're going to be able to offer. Again, with 60 frames a second video, a 16 megapixel image sensor, Wi-Fi, built-in LCD screen. You're going to be surprised and very pleased to know what the retail price will be. Unfortunately, I can't share that with you. Saving that for
you've shared enough.
Later.
You shared a lot with us, Frank. And again, this is an amazing product, and we encourage all of our guests to go to the ACTIVON website, which is the word active and the word on together, activeon.com, or you can go to computeramerica.com. We have links to the ACTIVON website right on our homepage at computeramerica.com. Frank.
I actually like just a little bit of plug. We'd like to let people know where they can buy the products.
Oh, sure, absolutely.
Actually, ACTIVON is currently available at Target, Sears. You can buy it online at bestbuy.com and walmart.com. We currently sell our camera at Aaron's, based out of Atlanta, throughout the United States. We're available at BrandsMart, online at B&H Photo, and online at activon.com. We've got some pretty big retailers lined up that I can't announce right now, starting in October. But currently we have pretty wide distribution, and we're really excited about some of the projects and the new retail partners that we're bringing online with us this fall.
I hate to go all the way back to the beginning, but when did you guys start?
Well, our company was founded in 2004, but we entered the action camera market in November of last year.
Okay, so that's why everything is, we're lining everything up, we're setting everything up, because it sounds like you guys have a lot going on and a lot on the horizon, and I guess this is going to be, I think this holiday season we're going to see a lot of you guys, because it sounds like you have a lot of different places, and you're really fleshing out your lineup. It's it sounds like you guys are booming.
Yeah,
absolutely. It's a very, very exciting time. Very, very busy. I spent a lot of time on the road, heading out, visiting a customer in Atlanta tomorrow. So on the road a lot, but it's very rewarding. Like I said, we've been around a while. We're experienced in the consumer electronics business. We have a lot of great relationships and a lot of great customers here in the U.S. A lot of the big box retailers, right down to the regional and smaller shops. So a lot's happened in just a short period of time. And like I said, we've got some really exciting stuff. So you're going to see ACTIVON in a big way.
All right,
coming up Friday and Christmas holiday season.
All right, then, Frank, listen, thanks again for being with us here on the show. Again, activon.com, or our website at computeramerica.com. We have the link there as well. Frank, thanks for being with us here on the Computer America Show tonight.
I appreciate it. Really appreciate the time. Thanks for having me.
All right, take care, and best of luck to you with this really incredible product. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Good night. All right.
Bye-bye.
All right, and there he goes. All right. Now, before we go on, I think we should do. We got a couple of news stories that we should do. So let's do some a couple of top of the hour computer news.
Fresh right into it, aren't you?
Absolutely, absolutely. Tonight's computer and technology news is brought to you by Slimware Utilities, the official optimization software of Computer America. You can visit them at slimwareutilities.com to clean, speed up, and optimize your Windows system. Slimwareutilities.com. And this first the story. Well, why don't you pick the story to do, Ben?
All right. Well, if we're just gonna rush right into this, the first story I think is it's gonna be this one, and this one is from Popular Science, and it's an art exhibit. You know, we really don't take the time to appreciate high art here enough on the show, and though this isn't the Mona Lisa, this isn't what insert other, I'm sure, well-known artist, creation. But no, this is going to be at an art convent, or at least an art gallery coming up, and it's a neat little app. Well, you can call it app, but it's what they essentially call art, and it lets you see wireless signals all around you.
It looks very cool. Yeah.
So it's it looks like it uses an iPad, some kind of tablet, and it has software running on it that will actually map the area around you. So it will show you the walls, the pillars, the floor, all that kind of stuff. And then using some kind of cloud, or all these dots and all these symbols, it will actually show you where all of the Wi-Fi signals are coming from. So, the further away that the dots are spread out, the weaker the signal. And just looking at the video here on our video page, and also looking at the pictures available in the article, it just shows you, I think if you were ever afraid that Wi-Fi was somehow frying your brain, this is not the video for you. But it shows, the 15, 16 different Wi-Fi signal sources, and their strength, their where they're emanating from, how they're interacting in the room you're in. I mean, this would be actually a very cool app. Like if they could put this on every single smartphone and tablet, you think about if you could walk through your own house, and you're kind of curious, I wonder if I get bad Wi-Fi signal in this room, or in this room, on this side of the house, over here. You can actually walk around, and using your device as kind of a looking glass, see the strength, the source, the different crossing paths, and actually seeing it turns Wi-Fi from just digital. It's Wi-Fi is just 2 bars or 3 bars on my cell phone, and now it's visual. It's actually showing you the fields, how weak they are, where they're coming from, all that kind of stuff. And again, this is coming from not from a lab deep in the bowels of Google. This is coming from an art gallery. It's the ZKM Media Museum in Karlsruhe, Germany.
Wow!
And it will be up from September of this year to April of next year. So you have about a year to get all the way over to Germany. But yeah, I thought it was a great blending of art and technology, but at the same time also providing an actual practical tool. Hopefully this will come, not just be an art exhibit. Hopefully it will come to devices, because I think being able to see the strength and the sources of Wi-Fi signals would be incredible.
It would be. And speaking of Wi-Fi, there's another story here.
It would just make apartments just look like little bunches of grapes. It's just Wi-Fi signal popping out of every single apartment.
Did you hear about the parents of a 12-year-old student attempting or suing because they're claiming that their upgraded Wi-Fi setup is making a sense?
Correct.
Yeah.
As much as I would like to do that story, and as much as I'm hurt that you don't want to engage with me on the previous story, we have like a minute left in this hour. We're not going to give that story its due justice. Maybe if we have time in the second hour, we'll get to it, but I think we're going to have to cut that one short. So Craig teased you with it. Yes, someone's claiming that Wi-Fi made their kids sick. But yeah, we're not gonna be able to get into that story.
Well, okay. So there's about a minute to kill. So what we want to do is I want to talk a little bit about our upcoming guest. Is the CEO of Dictionary.com. Elizabeth McMillan is going to be joining us. Did you know that I found out from Dictionary.com that irregardless actually is a word? Okay, I used to think that it wasn't a word, but Dictionary.com says nope, it's a real word. Okay.
Well, what is Dictionary.com now?
They know
They're only the authority on the internet
that's
of
right.
what makes a word.
Yeah. Well, we're going to be interviewing, again, the CEO of Dictionary.com coming up in the next hour. In the meantime, you're listening to the Computer America program. We have another news tips bulletin review from Marty Winston coming up as well. Stay with us as we begin hour 2 of Computer America.
Broadcasting live. It's the only national radio talk show on computers to air every weeknight. Computer America. Hosted by national columnist Craig Crossman. The first hour's behind us, but there's still more of tech news, tech talk, and your phone calls. We're being beamed nationwide at ComputerAmerica.com. You got computer problems? Bring them on. You're listening to Computer America. Computers run the world, and we run computers. Call us or send us an email to live@computeramerica.com.
Hello and welcome into hour 2 of the nation's longest running, nationally syndicated radio talk show on computers. This is the Computer America Show, and I'm your host, Craig Crossman. And my co-host, Ben, has disappeared. So welcome back into the second hour of the show. And as I mentioned, we're going to be talking to Dictionary.com. But if you miss any portion of the first hour with ACTIVEON, certainly you can listen to it again. We archive all of our shows at ComputerAmerica.com, and you can listen to them. We actually have our archives page at ComputerAmerica.com. Just click on the archives page, and you'll be able to listen to any show that we have broadcasted on the air at ComputerAmerica.com. We have SoundCloud carries it. We have Stitcher carries it. Apple's iTunes carries it. All the different places that carry the broadcast, so you can time shift and listen to Computer America at your leisure anytime. So, Ben, I see you're back with us.
Yes, hi.
Okay, and so
office emergency. I can't go into it, but it was important.
Okay, good. Well, let's invite our second hour guest, and as I mentioned, Dictionary.com, and they actually have a mission. You know what that mission is?
I don't know. What is it?
It's to delight and inspire anyone using the English language by being the most innovative and comprehensive digital source for everything related to words. That's what they're all about.
That's a lofty goal.
Yes, they provide resources that help people accurately define, pronounce, and apply words in the moment. Okay, now here with us is the CEO of Dictionary.com, Elizabeth McMillan. Elizabeth, welcome into Computer America. How are you?
Hi, Craig. Hi, Ben. Thanks so much for having me on tonight.
And believe me, our pleasure. I didn't know irregardless was a word until I saw it on the homepage of Dictionary.com saying, yes, it is. But there you go. Just another.
It's a funny one. I think you read the article about irregardless. There's a really interesting user comment below that article that says, if it's a word and I say it and you know what it means, then it's a word. So there you go.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I was telling Craig earlier that the English languages in general, what kind of separates a dead language and a language that's in use. Not so much that no one speaks it, but languages adapt to the people that are using it. Just like how 50 years ago, sneaked was the past tense of sneak, and it's still grammatically correct. But I think a lot of people nowadays use snuck, which is not technically a word, or at least was a word. But I think as people start using things, even things that people would consider incorrect, eventually, if enough people use them, and just like you said, if it gets your point across, then yeah, that word is correct. You may not like it, and change is hard, but hey, words are changing all the time.
Absolutely, and we're constantly adding new words and new definitions to the dictionary, and that just reflects the constant evolution of language. It's very exciting.
So, Liz, tell us a little bit about yourself and about dictionary.com. Kind of give us an overview.
Sure. So dictionary.com is the first digitally native dictionary. We're also the largest digital dictionary. We have over 70 million users every month. We offer millions of English definitions, audio pronunciations, example sentences, synonyms, and word origins. We're celebrating our 20th anniversary this year, and we're really proud of that. There's just a few internet companies that can say they've survived that long. And so I'm the CEO of Dictionary. Mm-hmm. I basically set the vision for our brand and support our amazing team to build great products. And I think all of our products reflect our commitment to, as you said in the intro, empower people to master English in all aspects of their lives. And I think it's back to school season, and helping students as they head back to school is a great example of that.
Yeah, and real quick, just kind of going back into your history. Congratulations on the 20 years. That's very, very impressive.
Yes.
For any tech company. Yeah. But I have to imagine that it's more than just that you were the first one to get the domain name. Dictionary.com, obviously very easy to remember and very, very useful. But would you kind of attribute 20 years to more than just being dictionary? Because I can imagine 20 years ago having an online dictionary was very, very useful. But at some point, just being an online dictionary, I would assume wouldn't be enough. So what would you say that you guys kind of do right in such a in such an obvious competitive field?
Yeah, great question. I think that having the dictionary domain and being a first mover was a great way to start. We've been a first mover in many other ways. I think because technology is part of our DNA, we're able to adopt new technologies faster than a lot of our competitors. So we were first movers in mobile. We were the first to market with a mobile app for the dictionary. And the landscape's changed a lot. I think in the early days, it was so much about providing access to the dictionary. Going from the dictionary being a book that you had to, that maybe a dusty book that was sitting on your bookshelf, and moving it to being available online. And we've now evolved to a place where you can access the dictionary and all of our great content anywhere and anytime just by whipping your phone out. So where that landscape continues to change, and we're very excited by the possibility of how much further we can take that, and how can we meet users where their language needs are as they're writing, as they're using their devices to communicate, and we see some really great opportunities there.
Well, what you've done with dictionary.com is take, as you say, a dusty book, a necessary one, but and breathed life into it, and making it a dynamic, accessible, easily accessible commodity, and you're doing an amazing job of that. Because and I don't know if I'm dating myself, but I've done it before. I'll do it again. I mean, I remember when you had the pocket edition of Merriam-Webster, or you had something you had, and then of course the library had this really huge dictionary. I supposedly had every word in it, and it was like a reference, and you couldn't take it out. It was usually on a big pedestal somewhere, and it was thousands of pages, and that had to get upgraded. And of course, it didn't take into, our language is changing. Technology is causing our language to change in very interesting ways. and books were too stodgy. I mean, really, to be flexible enough to change almost on a moment's notice to accommodate all the new things. And so when you go to something like dictionary.com, you can be fairly confident you're getting up to the moment a validation and verification that what you're seeing is in fact either right or wrong, according to the as opposed to going to a dictionary, a paper dictionary, and which has to be in who knows how many editions, trying to keep up with everything.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. I 100% agree. I remember when I was in school, the library wasn't even in the same building. We had to walk across the schoolyard to get to the library, and the scary librarian would kind of stare at you. What are you doing with my precious dictionary? And you didn't use it in the way that we do today. And language is ever changing, and I think technology and the advent of social media has made it that language new words can proliferate so much more quickly than ever before.
Yeah.
And it's a great tool to be able to whip out your phone and say, well, I just heard a word, and what does it mean? I've used it many a time. I remember a couple of years ago being in a business meeting, and one of my colleagues was saying that something was very pissy, and I had never heard that word before. And I kept saying to myself, why is he saying it's pity? What's so pity about it? And so I whipped out my phone and I pulled up the app, and I realized, oh, he means pissy, as in to the point and concise. Okay, now I get it. And what a great tool, because I think in years gone by, you would just sit there wondering, or you might be afraid to ask someone, what does that word mean?
Yeah, there was also the social stigma. You mean, what do you don't want people say, she doesn't know, exactly. So you never want to put yourself in that position. You feel it's uncomfortable. But now,
and I always had a problem because I was an avid reader in school, well, still am, but I read these words left and right, and it's when your vocabulary kind of gets ahead of you because you read, you don't hear anyone saying half these words. No one ever says, certain words, and you kind of say, okay, and you come up with sounds in your head, and I've always, because it comes up in so many books, I've always said chasm instead of I'm assuming it's chasm.
It is, yeah.
And but that's kind of what I read. I read it in a book. CH makes a ch sound, so that's what it. And so with dictionary.com, I've gone there before, and you actually have that nice little spoken feature where it's not that I don't know the definition, but sometimes I just get the pronunciation wrong.
Absolutely, that's a really handy feature, and I think in English there's so many words that don't sound like they're written.
Yeah, I mean, I used to think it was I used to think it was knife, until I found it was it's knife.
I think then you'd really enjoy our word of the day. So it's a daily email, or you can access it through our app, and it sends you a daily word that's unique and interesting, a word that maybe you don't hear very often or has an unusual pronunciation. It's a great way to expand your vocabulary.
Now, again, I could be wrong, and I'm sorry if I am, but I thought I have an Apple Macintosh, and I think they had a screensaver which would give you the word of the day, and it came from dictionary.com. I'm not sure if that's, but it was just I don't know if you're familiar with that, but it was a screensaver from Apple Computer. So
probably just pulled a word from dictionary.
Yeah, dictionary.com, exactly.
It could do. I'm not familiar with that one.
Okay, but having a word of the day is really a very, very cool. But again, I am very impressed because of not only the words and the resource the dictionary has, but right on the homepage, you have intriguing, for example, you have 9 internet abbreviations decoded, or what's
that? See, now that's one that I think a lot of people, need a lot of help with, because even I go on the internet a lot. Even I still run into some of these abbreviations that I have no idea what they mean. And even if you've been speaking English for 60, 70, 80 years, the internet has changed the English language into a whole nother monster. And it's kind of nice seeing that you guys have, some of the more popular ones, as you put it, decoded, which is a nice way to put it.
Yeah, so we have a editorial team that is just obsessed with language and very passionate about language and the trends in language. So the 9 internet abbreviations decoded, these are not necessarily, some of them might be, they're not necessarily entries in the dictionary, but we have deep knowledge of these different trends. And I think at our core, we want to empower users to understand what they mean. And some of these, IRL, I think is one of them. That's been around since the 90s, but I didn't know what it meant. So it's great that it's there to help me be understood and understand what people are saying around me.
Yeah,
I think too. Go ahead.
I would say in real life. That's what it stands for. But
in real life.
Yeah, exactly. The other thing I want you to talk just a little bit about, so I understand, Liz, is that how does a word get authorized to be in a dictionary? Does each dictionary, like the Macmillan and then this brand and that, do they all have different? Do they all use the same authorization?
Or is it just 3 English-bred men sitting in a large library talking about it?
How does a word get into the dictionary?
Yeah, no, it's a great question, and I think you'll be surprised by the answer. So I think every dictionary has its own unique approach. Every dictionary has a staff of lexicographers, which is the name we give to people who write entries in the dictionary. And what we do, what dictionary.com does, is because of our size, we have over 5.5 billion word lookups every year. We are able to analyze those words, analyze the searches, and identify words that we haven't seen before. And sometimes those words actually get categorized as words that have been misspelled. So which is interesting. So then our lexicography team will analyze the words that we're seeing frequently or that have suddenly spiked in our traffic that we haven't seen before, and then research those words further. And we're a very inclusive dictionary, so we don't have any kind of policies against including a word, but we do prioritize the words that we're seeing to make sure that we're adding the most valuable words first. And then in addition to that, our lexicography team, they read copious amounts of literature. They're from very academic journals all the way to pop culture types of things. And so they're using that reading so that they can really have a precise understanding of how the word's being used and what it means.
Okay, so Merriam-Webster and it has their own. What was the term you said? What was it?
Lexicography.
Lexicography. Yeah.
Yeah.
And as opposed to the Macmillan.
It's a mouthful.
Yeah, it is.
Oddly enough, was not one of the career choices on career day in school.
Exactly. Yeah. So is no one dictionary then is considered to be an authority? I mean, it might be, the word might appear in one dictionary, but that might not appear in another dictionary. I mean, how does that? Do they ever work together, or everybody's kind of stand alone?
It's a very tight community. So I know that our lexicographers often attend conferences and get to know the lexicographers and the other teams. But each dictionary stands alone. And so you'll find words on dictionary.com that maybe don't exist on Merriam-Webster.
Okay. Now,
so when everyone meets, there's not like, one kid that like busts through the doors, has his hat on backwards. It's like, yeah, I'm here from Urban Dictionary. Just want to see what you guys are doing over here.
I don't know. I haven't attended the conference personally, but I know that most of Urban Dictionary's content is UGC.
Yes, it is.
I don't believe they have a team of lexicographers.
I really doubt it.
They're getting into more of the colloquialisms. Oh boy, I can't even say that now. The colloquial language, yeah, exactly. Sort of like the geek speak, which is not necessarily going to be in.
To put this into perspective, no one should listen to me, and I've put words on Urban Dictionary. So, that says something.
Okay.
I will say, though, we're not, because dictionary.com is an inclusive dictionary, we have no objection to including slang in our dictionary. So it can happen, particularly if we find that our users are interested in a particular word that might have its origins in slang.
Well, I remember way back when we were still doing paper, I remember there was actually a slang dictionary that you could check out, and it actually had slang words of that day. And as you know, Liz, I mean, as generations go by, there are words that were popular in a particular generation that were used in such a way that really aren't used today. Like, for example, back in the 20s, a woman, they would say, "Wow, what a tomato!" They weren't talking about she was a vegetable. Tomato was a compliment, but it had that meaning. Today,
wow, Craig, the 20s. I knew you grew up back then, but wow.
I'm using this as an example. Today, that's probably people are going to look at you and go, "What do you mean? What is that?" So how do you deal? How do you deal with things like that? How do you deal with that?
There's also a lot of words that have a common meaning, but have a new meaning in kind of modern language. So one that comes to mind is the word brick, which when I grew up, a brick was, a piece of stone that you use to build a house,
right.
A piece of masonry. But in certain circles today, a brick means a stack of cash. So we try to identify those changes and make sure that we're up to date with those too.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think brick. It comes to mind the song when they would talk. It was another compliment from her. She's a brick house. I guess so. Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So there are all these, and I guess there's no absolute. I guess whatever works for you and whatever environment you're doing it.
Well, I would imagine that would be one of the hard things about a business like this, is because no one is ever going to agree with everything you do, and there's so much happening that you can't get it all.
I think that's true. But again, I think that we have this unique ability to use our search data to identify what is most relevant and interesting to our users. So, if users are searching dictionary.com for a word, and there's traffic spikes for that particular word, then in all likelihood it's a word that has meaning, and that we need to support and provide an answer for. So in that way, I think we provide a really unique and interesting viewpoint into cultural issues, and we have a pulse on the national conversation about what's going on. And so what comes to mind is in our last New Words edition, which was in the spring, we added several words that were based about gender issues. So cisgender and bigender, for example, that we identified through our search data, and really this reflected kind of the national conversation that was going on about gender-related issues at the time. So it's a really interesting viewpoint, if you will.
Like, you mentioned something about the last edition. Do you still deal with editions, or is I thought dictionary.com was pretty much more almost on a daily basis? That's something new, because you have that flexibility that you can go in there and make modifications on a daily or even hourly basis to update, and not be limited just to an edition every few months.
Yeah, no, we release the words in packages, and I think that's just to streamline the workflow of the lexicographers. So we do that several times a year.
Do people approach you, or do you have like a suggestion on a box on dictionary.com, say, "Hey, I think this should be a word," or they can people submit words to you?
Yeah, sometimes we get that through our customer service channel. We also have, for our word of the day, we have a feature called Your Word Wednesday, where users can suggest a word to be featured in the word of the day. And every Wednesday, we pick a word of the day that comes from a user suggestion.
Really? Okay. So obviously, there's a lot of interaction at Dictionary.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Now, obviously, we're back to school is pretty much here, and in honor of back to school, what are some of the words that are looked up the most on dictionary.com?
Yeah, my kids are going back to school, so the app is increasing in usage in my household. Some of the most frequently looked up words include grammatical staples, things like noun, metaphor, theme. But there's a very wide range. We also see words like hyperbole, eccentric, and autonomy in some of our top lookups. So there's some really interesting words there. I will say that one of the most interesting things we see when we look at our top lookup and our words that get the most searches are the misspellings. And those are a lot of fun. We ran a survey, a Harris Poll survey recently, and found that 80% of Americans find themselves to be good spellers. But ironically, 7 in 10 say that they find misspellings in correspondence from others. So we all think we're great spellers, but we all make mistakes.
You know, pronunciation too is the thing. I mean, my favorite is it's the epitome of hyperbole. You know, this is the exactly where you're really mispronouncing it. I like the fact that you can go to dictionary.com and find out that it's not pronounced aluminium, but it's pronounced aluminum, unless you're British, of course.
Aluminium's okay.
Well, yeah.
I grew up in Australia, and it's aluminium in Australia, so I've learned both.
Yeah. One of the ones that I didn't do until I heard about it, we used to have a segment here on the show called our London Digital Minute, and we had this nice lady, Patricia Reichel, from across the pond, and she used the word advertisement instead of advertisement, and for some reason that day that word changed for me. That word is now always advertisement because that just makes more sense.
I told her that she had the accent of the wrong syllable.
It's advertisement.
It's a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun, exactly, and this interview is a lot of fun too. This is really fun stuff. Again, we're talking about dictionary.com. But
the website is great and all, and trust me, I've used it more than my fair share. But you guys actually have an app that I hadn't had a chance to check out, until right before this. So, what is up with the app?
Well, that's interesting that you haven't checked it out. We actually just celebrated our 100th millionth download of our app.
Oh, so I'm the one.
We're very, very proud of that. Maybe you'll be one of the next 100 million downloads then.
Will do.
In our app, we provide million users with millions of English definitions, meanings, spelling suggestions, audio pronunciations, different word origins. We also have a free app that's available in iOS and Android, in the App Store and the Google Play Store. There's also a paid version, which includes some premium features like an encyclopedia, a slang dictionary, which we talked about, idioms, phrases, different example sentences. One of the features I love about the app as a parent is there's actually an offline version. So when my kids are doing their homework and I want to monitor their online behavior, I can still give them the digital tool because it will work offline.
Yeah, that is nice because of if the Wi-Fi or your internet access is down, you can't get that. But especially if it always seems to be when you need to look up a word. But
right,
exactly. So and you mentioned what some of the most looked up words on dictionary.com are by kids that are back in who are going back to school. What did you mention? Which words those were? Because I got distracted. Did you mention them?
No problem. I mentioned some words like noun and metaphor and theme, which are kind of really for the student who's studying English and some staples there, but some others like eccentric and autonomy, which are a little bit more different.
Now, we mentioned foreign, accents can change the meaning of an English word. We gave several. Do you deal with strictly with standard American English, or do you deal with foreign pronunciations?
So I think in our pronunciations, it's all American English.
Okay.
We do have some British definitions and words, but without the audio.
Right. Okay. All right. And basically, just the way it's spelled, you have the little accent on it, so you know where to put the accent on the pronunciation. Which, because aluminium and aluminum is spelled the same way. Then we get into what homonyms. Which are words that are look alike and spelled alike, but they have different meanings. So
blue, blue, and blue. Yep.
Exactly. So
yeah.
And you deal with those as well. But basically, anything you're going to find in a standard dictionary, you're going to be able to find at dictionary.com. Is that a safe bet?
That's safe to say. That's very safe to say. And you'll find some interesting words that might take you by surprise too.
All right, we got a lot more to talk about, Liz, but we're at the bottom of the hour, so we'll take a little break, and then we'll get back to you. Okay. All right, you're listening to the you're listening to the Computer America Show. Ben and I are talking to Elizabeth McMillan. She is the CEO of Dictionary.com. It's a fun interview. If you have a comment or question for her, 347-884-8881. I'll get you on and get you through. Another News Test Boulder review coming up as well. Don't go anywhere. Hi, this is Craig Crossman, host of the Computer America Show. You have important meetings to schedule. Your company's getting ready for its IPO, and you're in charge of the PTA fundraiser this month. So how do you coordinate everyone to be available at the same time? Are you still using emails, phone calls, even text messages to schedule meetings with a group of people? How's that working out for you? Not so great, huh? It's a fact that every day, millions of people suffer from scheduling headaches. Well, with Doodle, scheduling meetings with a group of people is quick and easy. With Doodle, you can easily propose available times to each member. Each one checks off the times that they're available, and then you simply pick the time that works best for the group, all in an easy-to-read display that integrates with your existing calendar. Nothing could be more simple. Give Doodle a try for free, and like millions of Doodle users, you'll truly see how easy it is to find the perfect date and time for all your meetings. That's www.doodle.com. Looking for a best friend? Brother Wolf Animal Rescue has your best friend waiting just for you. The mission of Brother Wolf Animal Rescue is to help build a sustainable, no-kill community where no dogs or cats are ever killed for population control, where true euthanasia is reserved only for animals who are irremediably suffering or for animals who are truly a threat to society and with no hope of rehabilitation. Brother Wolf staff and volunteers go door to door, neighborhood by neighborhood, to educate citizens about local resources available for at-risk pets and to help their families connect with those resources. Brother Wolf's community-based approach to no-kill helps keep family pets healthy, happy, and in their homes and out of the local shelter system in the first place. For more information or to make a tax-deductible donation to this wonderful 501c3 organization, visit their website at www.bwar.org. Help to realize Brother Wolf's vision when no animal is euthanized for lack of a home.
Who's a good boy?
I don't care if it is a ladies' room, I'm recording here. Hi, this is Marty Winston with a News Tips Bullet Review for Computer America. This time, the TP-Link RE210 AC750 Wi-Fi range extender. You set this one up with an exemplary browser-based procedure. Identify the source Wi-Fi separately at 2.4 and 5 gigahertz. Manually enter a password, either echo its SSID or create a new one, or use WPS. It took about a minute and resulted in a configured extender we can move to any outlet to be a dual-band Wi-Fi repeater. We should mention this product is fairly small. It's a wall wart with swing-up antenna ears, and it will occupy a lower outlet without blocking the upper. It can also act as a bridge through an RJ45 connector underneath. Bottom line, the TP-Link RE210 AC750 dual-band Wi-Fi range extender is configuration and operationally flawless. Marty Winston for News Tips Bulletin and Computer America.
Thank you, Marty Winston, for that News Tip Bulletin review. We're back here on the Computer America Show, and we are talking to the one, the only Dictionary.com. And we have Liz McMillan here with us, who is the CEO of Dictionary.com. and we've covered a lot so far. And it doesn't seem like it because time really did fly by. But one thing that I believe I remember about dictionary.com when I used it, when I was back in high school. Does dictionary.com provide any kind of SAT, ACT standardized testing, test prep, or practice?
We do not do that today.
We okay. Now I'm thinking of somewhere else besides that, but regardless of that, there's still, of course, the word day and all that kind of thing. I'm probably thinking of something that one of my teachers made me pay for. But
right.
But let me ask you this: I noticed that dictionary also you have a thesaurus, which is also if you're looking for a word to replace an existing word on dictionary.com, and you also have translate. So you do offer some foreign languages. It looks like phrases, and you offer translations from quite a number of languages here, even one that I haven't heard of, like Urdu. So you do
right.
exactly. So it looks to me like
That's right.
You do have a full featured website here and at dictionary.com. And
absolutely, and as I think what I'd like to mention is that as we are celebrating our 20th anniversary, we've been looking back over time and thinking a lot about how things have changed over the last 20 years. And I think most of us don't really think too much about how the digital revolution has changed the way we access reference content. But really, just in the products that we have, and Thesaurus and Translate and Dictionary.com, it's so easy today to access that content. And in so many ways, the internet's just redefined what it means to be a dictionary.
It really has.
Our vision is it can go further than what it is today.
Well, before we say goodnight, anything else that we should know about dictionary.com, Liz? That you'd like to tell our listeners about?
I thanks so much for having me on today. It's been a lot of fun. As we go back to school, it's a great tool for students. My 13-year-old uses it all the time, not just for words that she's hearing in the classroom, for words she's hearing in social media or on the news, or even around the dinner table. Sometimes we're pulling it out because my 4-year-old says a funny word that we're surprised he knows. So it's a great handy app, and I hope people enjoy using it.
Do you play Scrabble in your family? I mean, do they? Because I could. That's one of the things that we used to use a dictionary. I know there's an official Scrabble dictionary, but also,
we're not Scrabble players. We have on our site we have a crossword solver, which is very handy for crossword users. But we've created games out of looking up words in the dictionary app in my household.
Well, that's very. Although to me, crosswords is a great way of learning new words, and of course Scrabble and games like that too. Well, Liz, I want to thank you so much for being with us here tonight and telling us about dictionary.com. And again, it is the website dictionary.com. That's just that simple. Of course, you can go to our website at computeramerica.com. We have a link to dictionary.com there for your edification as well. So, but thank you so much for being with us. It was very enlightening and very pleasurable, Liz.
Thanks, Craig. Thanks, Ben. Have a great night.
And you too. Take care. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. There you go. Dictionary.com. And again.
Oh, and for anyone out there who did not catch the other website, it is indeed thesaurus.com. So
yes, thesaurus. But you can get to it from dictionary.com.
Which is, but again, it's just a redirect to thesaurus.com. So, right. Dictionary.com, thesaurus.com. I don't believe it's translate.reference.com.
Yeah,
so,
Translate.com obviously was already taken up.
Yeah.
And the word of the day, by the way, is
xeriscaping.
So you know what that is. I already knew what
Who doesn't know what xeriscaping is?
I knew what xeriscaping was. Yeah, exactly. But you see, look, you just click on it.
Xeriscaping.
I like that. I really. I have it bookmarked, by the way, so it's terrific. Dictionary.com. All right. Well, Ben,
you're not going to give people the definition of the word of the day.
Well, you do it because you have it up. What does it say?
All right, I'll do it. Xeriscaping, as Robotic Lady just said, Environmental design of residential and park land using various methods to minimize need for water use.
That's right. So when you're
You know who needs to be xeriscaping right now?
California.
California.
You got it. Exactly. That
He needs to be doing that in a big way.
Yeah, that's more than a word of the day. That's probably word of the month.
Yeah, for California.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, Ben and I were doing computer and technology news brought to you by Slimware Utilities, the official optimization software of Computer America, and we are going to continue doing these stories. Earlier we did this story about Wi-Fi, and then I led into another story about Wi-Fi from Maximum PC, Paul Lilly, that evidently. Because Ben was talking about using Wi-Fi, that was an app, so you can actually see the different Wi-Fi areas, and it was like looking at a work of art. But the parents of a 12-year-old student, evidently, that were attending a private elementary school in Southborough, Massachusetts, are suing the school because they believe the school's recently upgraded Wi-Fi setup made their son sick.
If you've ever heard of Wi-Fi sickness, it's more than just browsing the internet 24/7.
Yeah, they're seeking $250,000 in damages. Get this. According to the lawsuit, the student suffers from EHS, which is electromagnetic hypersensitivity syndrome. EHS. I had never heard of that. I have to be honest, but there you go. This was a diagnosis that was issued after the student began suffering from frequent headaches, nosebleeds, nausea, and other symptoms that the parents claim resulted from the school upgrading its internet system to having a more powerful wireless signal in 2013. Again, I had not heard of this, and I'm not dispelling it. I'm not, but
I have heard of electromagnetic hypersensitivity syndrome that leads to a lot of people, sleepwalking. That leads to a lot of people having headaches. I mean, I've heard of cases so bad that people have actually had to move out of their houses and their apartments, simply for the fact that they have like unshielded power lines. They've had poorly shielded wiring throughout their house and that kind of thing. And they live for years with these terrible headaches and nausea and that kind of thing. But I've never heard of that through Wi-Fi. Like I've always heard, like whenever I have heard of it, it's been through power lines right outside your window or things like that. Wi-Fi though, that's a new one.
Yeah, I've heard of the other, but I have not. But instead of suing the school $250,000, just take your kid out of the school because you know it's bothering them and send them to a different one. Why would you sue the school?
Because it's probably a public school and the closest one in the area and the one he is kind of assigned to go to. And regardless, if he's that sensitive
or irregardless,
no matter which school you send him to, he's probably going to have some kind of issue.
Or irregardless, yes, exactly.
Okay.
So. Anyway, the story goes on to say, the school requested that the student would visit with another physician, and the parents did agree, but they were, upset that the physician came to a conclusion that there was not enough study yet done to link Wi-Fi emissions to symptoms, these particular symptoms, this EHS syndrome. And he also only spoke to the kid for 10 minutes. No tests, everything.
See, and I guess that's kind of what gets me in all this because, among the different things I mentioned before, all around us, invisible to the naked eye, there are, of course, radio waves, that you can hear Computer America on. There are television television signals. There are satellite signals being beamed all over the world. There are signals coming from all over the place in different spectrums, that I've and I believe even visible light is in the electromagnetic spectrum.
Oh yeah,
yeah, and so through all these things, it's hard for me to kind of pin it on. Okay, Wi-Fi is the culprit. Wi-Fi is just a small measure of that spectrum.
there might be something in the air the kid is breathing that he's sensitive to that didn't take into account. But the thing is, they're saying that the doctor doesn't believe in EHS. That's the main thrust of the lawsuit, and that he made no alternative diagnosis. And yes, there's debate. There's always debate in the medical community whether something is real or not. And EHS.
Although I will say that we shouldn't just dismiss this outright, because it would be inconvenient for what we do, because there was little to no study being done about what it's like to have a cell phone signal, holding a cell phone right up to your head.
Yeah.
And there are, quite a few studies out there that say that's not good for you. That's actually pretty bad for you.
Right.
And it still hasn't caught on. People still hold their cell phones up to their face because that's how they were designed. That's what's convenient. That's what people do. But you don't want to dismiss something out of hand and saying it's not true because it's inconvenient, or just because you've been doing it for so long without a problem. That doesn't make it, that's just as bad as saying this is the definite cause.
I mean, look, back in the early days when they first discovered radium, and they put it in watch, they watched us and thought, oh, this is so cool. They didn't realize that people were getting radiation poisoning. You couldn't see it, but they were getting it. I mean, just because, we don't know what the long-term effects of things like this can be, because they haven't been around that long, quite frankly.
Exactly.
So you really can't be dismissive of it. So the doctor's saying he doesn't believe in it. That doesn't hold. But there's so much that we still need to learn about. And I guess maybe 50 years from now they'll look back and they'll say, oh, those people used to hold cell phones up to their head and they didn't realize what they were doing. But
So I'm not saying that this kid's claim is wrong. I am not a physician, and I'm not a teacher, or whoever is in charge of that Wi-Fi signal. It's just to pin it on that particular thing, which was, it sounds like they had Wi-Fi before and he was fine, but then they boosted the Wi-Fi, and then that caused him to get sick.
Yeah,
that seems a little fishy. And attacking the school district. Schools are hard up enough already, and if you want to grind some money out of them, that's going to be bad for a lot of kids, not just your kid. But I don't know, it just seems like they're hitting the deepest pockets they can.
Mm-hmm. Well, it was an interesting story. So
that it was.
Yes, it was.
So next story we're going to do, and we have quite a few of them here. Some in the range of science, some in the range of green technology, but I like this one. So the last one was bordering on, could be true, could be a cash grab. This one is downright a cash grab, and I think a nice example of patent trolls.
Okay.
So this one from Ars Technica, and it's about the humble chicken sandwich. So a chicken sandwich cannot be copyrighted, court rules. As if you needed a court to weigh in on it. But there was a gentleman who put chicken inside a bun and sought $10 million for theft of creative work.
Gee.
And yeah, this is a pretty long article, but we're going to try to fly through it. And the U.S. Appeals Court on Friday ruled that a chicken sandwich could not be copyrighted. They said that the former employee of a fried chicken franchise is not entitled to a percentage of the profits of sandwich that he authored, quote unquote. Now again, he authored this sandwich. He did not create. He did not make. He authored a chicken sandwich. I've never sat a sandwich down in front of someone and said, "Here you go. I authored this for you." So language is already dodgy. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so that was written by the Chief Judge Jeffrey Howard in the decision of the U.S. Court of Appeals in the First District. They have the name of the plaintiff here, and he filed a complaint seeking all the earnings produced by his creation, which is about $10 million, or so he claims. And he said that the sandwich consists of a fried chicken breast patty, lettuce, tomato, American cheese, garlic, mayonnaise on a bun. And he said that both the recipe and the name of the so-called Pechu sandwich is a creative work of which he is the author. his argument failed, folks. He did not, in fact, quote unquote, author the chicken sandwich, and it was shot down. So the Copyright Act does protect literary works and all these kinds of things, and in a few categories besides, but it does not protect pieces of food.
Yeah, especially chicken sandwiches.
Especially chicken sandwiches, because really there are franchises alone that have made a rather nice business only offering a nicely made chicken sandwich.
And a nicely chicken sandwich is so delicious. So.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. So, this is just one example of how people are trying to twist the language of the copyright laws on the book, and trying to make it far-reaching. Because if you can get all the way to the first circuit of the appeals court, then what does that mean for copyright patents, or how Apple copyrighted the square shape of a phone with the rounded edges? It's patents and copywriting is in such disarray that it definitely needs looked at, if for no other fact to get this gentleman his proceeds for making a chicken sandwich. I feel $10 million for making a sandwich is well within his rights.
Exactly.
I won't lie to you. Sometimes I've made a sandwich, I'm like, yeah, this hits like $1 million, but this guy believes his is $10 million. So to each their own.
Yep, I guess. This article here by The Guardian, I have to say I'm sort of very sympathetic to this. The title is Flash, not The Flash, the guy who runs really fast, but Flash is dying a death by 1,000 cuts, and that's a good thing. Okay. So the end of Adobe's video carrier is nigh, as Amazon marks the first of the big-name advertisers to block Flash ads, while Google's Chrome will intelligently pause them. It's kind of
That's true. Oh, and and I'm not sure if this will be covered, but we also have another story. We're gonna get back to yours in just a second, but I want to say tack this on. We're not gonna get to the story, but it's about iOS 9. Yes, we're on iOS 8 right now, but iOS 9 will be blocking ads and all that kind of thing. So death by 1,000 cuts, everyone's jumping on.
If we don't get to that story tonight, should definitely do that iOS 9 blocking story tomorrow.
Yeah.
But anyway, Adobe Flash, according to this article, hated the world over for slowing down computers containing more holes in security than Swiss cheese, and stubbornly being the video carrier of choice until recently is dying. And I guess we should have some applause for that, right?
You do enjoy the demise of Flash a little bit more than most people.
Yeah. Not that it'll if this will only happen to Java too, it'll be more cheers. But right now we're talking about Flash. Because basically HTML5 can do anything you really can do with Adobe Flash. It's really, you have an HTML5 browser, you don't need Flash. You really don't. And it's really it's becoming an anachronism. It's old technology. Anyway, he goes on to say that this is happening for a good reason. As other components of a web browser and operating system become more secure, Flash is one of the biggest sources of security vulnerabilities, and hackers truly love it, which is why you should hate it. Okay. Even Adobe themselves, who is the developer of Flash, okay, doesn't seem to love the much maligned system. Okay. Like Microsoft with Windows XP, Adobe has been trying to migrate companies away from using its own tools while putting out fires left and right and center. Okay.
And again, I've said this before about Adobe, and I'll say it again. Adobe's a great company. They make a lot of great products,
Photoshop.
and they their entire creative suite is just amazing. But I've said this before. They target Flash not because it's so well, it is full of design, security flaws. That's a given. but people pore over the lines of code in this thing just to get into it because so many people use it. Just like the article said with Windows XP and just like Flash, so many people use it, and it's such a large target. It's not that it's such an easy target. It may seem like there's one every other day, but it's because so many people are looking for the flaws.
But do you know why that what the major hold is? What's causing for Flash to be around all this time? Advertisers.
Yep.
Exactly. In this past June, over 100 million adverts were displayed to users globally with Flash, while 84% of banner ads are still Flash. This is according to Ad Age. So, but even advertisers are going to come around.
Because they are, but it's also because creating a Flash ad and just a platform like that's been like the platform. It's you create your pop-up ad, you create your banner ad using Flash, and this is what every website had available. So you created for the platform you had. It's just like Tesla. Why would you make all these Tesla cars if you didn't have the infrastructure? The infrastructure that was set in place on the internet up until just really just a couple of years ago when this whole movement started to happen, and now that is really picking up steam with Amazon and all these other companies, and Google Chrome. It's that was the infrastructure set up on the internet. It was you create your ads using Flash. There was nothing better. There was nothing different. That's what it was.
Yep. No, really, and as we mentioned, Google obviously it won't run Flash adverts by default. You have to click to enable the advert, which is sort of like a kind of a temporary fill-in. Firefox also blocks Flash over security concerns. And now, as we mentioned, Amazon has banned Flash ads from appearing on its ad platform across its sites. So it's one of the first giants that's going to who's adopting this policy. And I really think that Flash is on its way out. It's taken a long time, but I think that eventually we're going to see it go away and good riddance. I mean, in its day it was great, but its day is gone. And
it's a pretty big energy sink too, because as the world of mobile devices goes on, we always talk about how to get better battery performance. You can turn this feature on, turn this feature off. You can do all these kinds of things. Flash going away is probably going to do as much for battery technology as almost any other advancement in the last couple of years. And because loading up a web page or loading up any kind of Flash thing, it was created and optimized for old technology. So when you use it on new technology, it sucks the battery dry. It's so much more power intensive than something natively built into HTML5 or coded in some other way. It just hogs up more resources because it doesn't know how to be more effective in, let's say, multiple cores or something like that. It's so getting rid of Flash will have a nice little added side effect of increasing battery life for mobile devices.
And who knew this? Who predicted it? Who said it years and years ago? Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs. That open letter he wrote to Adobe and for everybody to see is still, you can still see it on the Apple website, written way back when. He said that's what he refused to have Flash implemented in the iPhone. He got such flack, but he knew, and he was right once again. Well, I don't think we have time to do another story. So again, I'm going to mention that Computer America is coming to a new time. We're still going to be on Monday through Friday, starting in September, but we're going to be 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to be bringing Computer America Monday to Friday, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern time, 5 nights a week, and that begins in September. So, of course, you can still listen to archives, but if you want to listen to us live, that's when we begin moving over to the new time period. What do we got coming up tomorrow night? In the first hour, we're going to have Belltone on the show. Frank Skubsky is going to be on from Beltone.
Ah, Mr. Skupski.
Yeah.
Glad to have him on.
Yes, and he's going to be talking about some of the new products.
Although I must say, I believe his name is Scoopski.
Scoopski. Yes, Scoopski.
There we go.
90 seconds.
You're correct. It is Scoopski. We talk about the Beltone Here Plus app, the newly developed. We're going to be talking to him about that. And then in the second hour, we've got the Giz Wiz, Dick DiBartolo, Mad Magazine's maddest writer. He's going to be joining us on tomorrow night's show. And Dick always has some of the fun stuff, coolest fun stuff that he writes about. And we actually has a special area
60 seconds.
on computer on his website talking about all the different things that we're going to be discussing, including unique back-to-school gadgets. That's right, exactly. Some really cool back-to-school gadgets that we're gonna be talking to him. It's always fun, and always a lot of. He has some of the funniest things, and that's why we have him as one of our correspondents here on the Computer America show.
Oh, just checking the calendar. This time next week, we'll be on our new schedule.
Yes, we will.
1 week hence.
Yes, we will. So that wraps it up. Thank you so much for being with us here tonight. And Ben and I will see you here, same night, same station. So until tomorrow night, this is Craig Crossman hoping that your hard disk never becomes floppy. See you tomorrow night.
Good night, everyone.
Well, it says thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye. So
we're going to assume that happened.
Yeah, we did. It does say that. And thank you all for being with us here tonight. And we'll see you tomorrow night, same here on our live Google Hangouts live video stream. Have a great evening. We'll see you tomorrow night. Bye-bye.
Good night, everyone.